Here we go, guys. You got the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, the Htc U11, and let's get right to it. Now, guys, these phones, best specs on the market, Snapdragon 835 for both, and 6GB RAM for HTC, 4 for the Samsung, and really gorgeous designs on both. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, guys, we have a lot planned for the speed test. First up, we got boot up. Then we're going to be doing some app opening, some web browsing, camera speed, fingerprint scanner. As you see here, Galaxy first one to boot up. And then multitasking and more. And HTC up as well. Alright, guys, so let's waste no time. Let's get right to it. BBC News first. Alright, so slight advantage here for the Galaxy. iFunny next. Alright, so HTC here. YouTube. Alright, so again, HTC here. Calculator next. And clock. Alright, guys, eBay next. Alright, so again, we have HTC here. Photos. Wow, so again, HTC here. Asphalt 8. Alright, guys, so HTC doing pretty well so far. It has a slight lead. And this one going to Galaxy. Very close test. Settings next. Alright, so HTC there. CBS Sports. Alright, so HTC. Temperanto. And looks like HTC here as well. Alright, guys, so very good test so far. But still have a lot more to go. Modern Combat 5 next. Alright, so we have HTC here. And I'm just going to press right here on both of them for the multitasking aspect. So I'll show you guys in a few minutes. Alright, guys, so next up we got AnTuTu. Now, there's a pretty big difference here in the score. So really amazing score here on HTC, 184,000 versus 168. And I know some people, they definitely get higher than this on the Galaxy, but mine around 168. So yeah, for HTC, that is the highest on Android. Alright, guys, let's do Chrome next. Now, this is the 128GB model with 6GB of RAM. There's also one with 4GB of RAM and 64GB internal storage. Alright, guys, clearing out the whip history on both. So let's do IMDb.com first. Alright, so that was pretty close on both. Let's do Sony next. Sony.com. Alright, so narrow edge for the HTC. Let's do HTC next. Alright, HTC.com. Alright, so fittingly the HTC winning HTC.com. Let's do Samsung next. Samsung.com. And pretty close on both. And then last up, guys, let's do Zelda.com. So Zelda. Alright, so narrow margin there for the Galaxy. I think web browsing a little bit too close to call. Alright, let's do camera speed next. Alright guys, so we have to have an object in focus, and I got the 3 most popular candidates. So we got Kenny, we got Whalmer, and we got Bulbasaur. We'll go ahead with Whalmer. It's the only one that's actually upright. And already in a pretty good position right there. Alright, so open up the camera app on both. Now guys, both these phones rear-facing 12 megapixel cameras. And I will be doing actual comparisons, but for now, let's just take a look at the speed. Alright, so Galaxy a little bit faster here. Alright guys, let's do fingerprint scanner next. Now I am going to switch my hands because it's a bit awkward doing it with your left hand on the Galaxy. So Galaxy fingerprint scanner right here on the back. Don't like the placement of this. And on HTC it's right here. In my opinion, this is definitely the best area for it. But for now, we're testing out the speed. Alright guys, so HTC looks a little bit faster and definitely much more comfortable. Yeah guys, I use the Galaxy every day and just trust me, the HTC fingerprint scanner is definitely better. Alright guys, so we got one of the most important tests last, we got the multitasking. But before that, let's go ahead and round out the specs real quick for both the phones. Now you guys may notice the Galaxy S8 screen definitely is brighter. However, it is more apparent at an angle, so definitely better viewing angles here on the Galaxy. But if you look at them head on, not as apparent. So yeah, gorgeous screens on both, very similar resolution. Now the Galaxy screen is larger, so 6.2 inches versus 5.5. And also extremely minimal bezels on the Galaxy. So yeah, just personally speaking guys, I think the Galaxy is a little bit better designed, but again, both beautiful phones. Now, HTC had the fingerprint scanner right here, definitely much better placement than on the Galaxy, which is right here on the back. Now, front-facing camera on the Galaxy, 8 megapixels, on HTC at 16. And look at the bottom there. So USB Type-C on both. And the side. And the top. Now, on the Galaxy, you do have a headphone jack. On HTC, you don't. Galaxy headphone jack is right there at the bottom. So yeah, again, on HTC, no headphone jack, one big downside to the phone. And then a look at the back, so really beautiful on both, glass on both. And I do really love the color here on HTC. Absolutely gorgeous. And 12 megapixel cameras on both. Alright guys, so the rest of the specs, so on the Galaxy, 64 gigabytes internal storage. On HTC, either 64 or 128. Now, if you get the 64 gigabyte version of the HTC, it's only 4 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, it's still a lot, it's the amount that the Galaxy has, but it is less than 6 gigabytes of RAM, which you have with the 128 version. And again, I do have the 128 version, 6 gigabytes of RAM. Now, both phones do have micro SD card support. Larger battery on the Galaxy, so 3500 versus 3000. Both phones Snapdragon 835. Now, both phones are water resistant, Galaxy higher certification, so IP68 versus IP67 for HTC. Oh, you guys, I do want to mention that with the HTC, they're pretty heavily advertising the new squeeze feature. So you do have aluminum here on the sides, as you guys see right here. And this is called HTC EdgeSense. So yeah, basically the concept is just squeeze your phone like this. And then you can designate an action. So for example, I have camera up. And then if I wanted to, I can squeeze it again. And take a picture. Now guys, I'll let you be judge of this. Personally, I'm not really sold on it. I mean, it's cool it's in there. It's better not having it at all. But again, I don't really see this taking off. Don't think it's going to be a big trend in the coming years. But still cool. Alright guys, and last up we have multitasking. Now let's see if that extra 2 gigabytes of RAM in HTC makes a difference. So again, you got 6 versus 4. And let's start off with Temple Run 2. Alright, so very good sign here for loading the app. Let's do BBC News next. Alright, so is reloading on the Galaxy, on HTC it's not. iFunny. Once again, same result here. Let's do eBay next. Alright, so again, fast here on HTC. And then let's do Asphalt 8. Alright guys, so again, excellent multitasking so far on HTC, not reloading the app. Amazing job here on the Galaxy is reloading. Let's do a couple more. Alright guys, let's just do two more. Let's do camera. And then finally, let's do Chrome. Alright guys, so obviously multitasking is better on the HTC. And now let's say, I mean, if I wanted to, I could go back to one of those that reloaded on the Galaxy. So for example, Asphalt 8. Now this one, it did just reload on the Galaxy, but this time if I do it, as you guys see, it just comes right up. But again, the more apps you open up, the harder it's going to be for the Galaxy. So as you guys saw, especially at the beginning apps, stuff like BBC News, iFunny, definitely better multitasking on HTC. Alright guys, so next up we got the final results. And real quick, I just want to say that both these phones, excellent phones, definitely amongst my favorites. And that's because both phones, beautiful designs, great cameras on the back. And then both the phones are water resistant, you have micro SD card support, a lot of internal storage, solid battery life, and excellent Snapdragon 835 processor. Now that said guys, overall I do think that the HTC won this test. Now the Galaxy, it did win some categories, for example, it's faster booting up, also a bit faster camera speed. But obviously in terms of stuff like multitasking, really no contest, easily going to HTC. Now keep in mind guys, I'm testing U11 with 128GB internal storage and 6GB RAM. So it is different from the 64GB and 4GB RAM version. So results could definitely vary for the 4GB version. Nonetheless guys, incredible job here by the HTC. And we do have a lot more speed test comparisons planned. This was just the tip of the iceberg. So that includes the Sony Xperia Supreme, iPhone 7 Plus, and a whole bunch more. So if you guys want to see all in the future, subscribe in the top left corner. Or you can watch another video right now in the bottom right. Alright guys, thanks again for watching.